everyone, and welcome back to the Tiger Den. I apologize. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't just break my stream over on YouTube and had to fix it because I'm good at that. Anyway, welcome back to the Tiger Den. I know I apologize. I said I was gonna work on the rat pig crossing art piece of the rat pig farm today, and I was gonna work on the anniversary piece, getting that last 3D effect going in. I realized Mother's Day is coming up and I have 2 shows between now and Mother's Day. I need to make some Mother's Day cards. I do have quite a few I'm gonna work on. I have these postcards, which is a cat cats with different features, a dragonfly, and some food that I totally forgot I had designed, and I will do those later. Right now, these ones are just going to be basic flower bouquets. I'm going to do a couple different styles of flower bouquets. I'm going to do the one where I do like a rose in the middle and then just kind of have some flowing out of it. I'm going to do like a bouquet where it's like a water mesh and it's just different colors, kind of suggestive of flowers with a ribbon. I'm going to do probably a couple of the suggestive flower ones, and then I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do like a lilac one. And the lilac I'm probably going to sketch out, so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to sketch out the lilac bushes, and then I'm going to knead eraser it so it's nice and light. Just that way I can get a nice feel of the bundles. And then I can go ahead and start painting after that. I do have a lot to do today. I kind of messed up a little bit on remembering that Mother's Day was coming up and prepping some pieces for that. I probably should have been doing that over the last 2 days, but I have been very, 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 very busy getting things done, getting stuff prepped. I had a show this last weekend that kind of wiped me out on a lot of things. So I have been very, very, very tired and trying to recoup and rest. I was supposed to, and I wanted to rest yesterday, but I ended up just working more instead. I had someone come out, well, my husband had someone come out and take a look at my sink in my studio. As you guys know, I've been having issues with that sink. They are looking at, because of the draining issue, just running a whole new line for the draining. So I don't know when we're going to be able to do that because the cost was pretty pricey for just one sink. Getting one sink working, I should say. But I can understand it because they're running a whole new line from the sink up here down to the basement, and that's 2 stories, so I understand the cost. I just whoa. Past that, I need to work on my fairies in a bottle. I have to glue them down. I made the shadow box of my toddler's announcement ball. So we had a gender reveal party because I got to be extra like that, and we used a Pokeball to announce the color. Well, we held on to that Pokeball because it's kind of like a memento memory. I didn't want to put it in the memento memory box because the powder that was in the ball to make the nice powdery cloud was still everywhere in it. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it. So I decided to put it in a shadow box where hopefully that powder won't escape and make a mess everywhere. And then Monday I did some gardening. I actually planted a lilac bush in my backyard. I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna not do the leaves. I just wanted to do kind of like the basic lilac shapes. Give it some life here. Anyway, I planted a lilac bush, which I am very excited about. I was looking at trees, but trees were like $200 per, and the bush it was $67, and then we got 20% discount where we were at. So, or it was on sale for 20% off, I should say. It wasn't special to us to get the discount. So I got a nice little lilac bush that I'm going to hopefully grow and then propagate later into more lilac bushes, which is exciting. And then what else have we done? Oh, I made watercolor paint this last weekend. This one's kind of low. That's just because, and this one's also low. That's just because I had so much that it was enough to fill 1, but not enough to fill 2. So this one is just coffee and mica. This one has actual coffee bits in it. Doesn't smell like coffee, but I'm still trying to figure out a good, because when I did straight coffee, this color, it's straight coffee, but the color, it smells like coffee, but it doesn't get much color. It's a very, very, very light, basically translucent coffee color, or like brown color, even though I put a lot of pigment in it. So I tried doing some mica pigment. I may have to use like dirt or something to get that brown color and then mix in coffee with it to see if I can get it to work that way. And then I used the Pinkest Pink that I got from Stuart's Stemple, that free Pinkest Pink with at the purchase of the gold. I made some watercolor of the Pinkest Pink, and then I made some lilac, and then this is like a sage green that I made. So of course we're going to do sparkles, and one of the bouquets is going to have that beautiful bright pink. The lilacs, I don't think, I'm going to probably do regular like purple lilac color. You can also get pink lilacs. I don't think I'm going to go that far. And this, oh no, the kneaded eraser is sticking. Fun part of kneaded erasers, if you get them right, then they stick everywhere. So we're gonna, hello Sheriff, thank you so much for the first, congratulations. So I'm gonna erase these lines just a little bit. It was enough, it was supposed to just be a guide, so I'm gonna lighten them up so they are still a guide without taking over everything. And hey Sheriff, I shall water. I don't want to water, I'd rather coffee, but I'll water. My water isn't super full right now, so if you guys hydrate me too much, I will have to walk away to go refill my water. But yeah, sorry for like this super long delay. My YouTube, I had set it as my art is made for kids, so that way people, like the kids, could watch it and join in on the stream. Not my kids, just kids in general, but it's school time, so I shouldn't have to worry about kids like coming in. I was hoping that like the made for kids would also last into the live stream video for later. However, when I turned on it's made for kids, it got rid of my chat option. So you guys couldn't chat over on YouTube. So I had to turn off it's made for kids. I wasn't sure what caused my chat to disappear and like not work. But that's apparently it. If you make it for kids on YouTube, you can't have a chat feature, which makes sense. It really does. I wouldn't want my kids chatting to a random stranger on the internet. But, I mean, I didn't know. So how was I supposed to know? Okay, I'm going to start with the lilacs here, and then these two will be 2 bundles. I think I'm going to do one in blue, one in pink, and we're going to do some different pinks in it, and I'll do some reds and things like that. So we're going to start by taking the clean water, and we're just going to wet this first lilac here, the one in the middle. That way I can work on the other 2 simultaneously. And we have to make it wet so the colors flow, but not so wet that it takes forever to dry, because we have a lot to do here today. And I'll probably be working into the night tonight, as well as tomorrow in the morning and afternoon, trying to get all these Mother's Day cards made, because I think these will sell well at my show. I forgot to wet the thing. I think these will show really well. I'm gonna do blues, and then I need green. I'm just gonna wet this whole damn thing. What's the worst case scenario? Oh, I didn't mean to do the metallics. That's fine. Oh well. So the first color I'm gonna work with is the Macaron Violet. I feel like that is a nice, good light color for lilacs. And with getting the lilac bush, I realized there was a feature that I was missing in my lilacs, which requires a detail brush, like a rigger brush. But basically, when you have the lilac bloom, it has a line through it, almost like an X. And when you have those detailed lilacs, it has that little X that leads to the center where there's a really dark dot. So instead of just doing X's on the lilac for the words, I forgot words. Words have escaped me completely now. For the lilacs themselves, then I can words. Why are words hard? Fuck. I can make them look more like real lilacs, is what I'm trying to get at, but apparently I can't word right now. So we're doing a lot of this macaroon violet in the deeper, where it's more concentrated, and where it's not. Because I need to get a nice shadow on these. There we go. Then we'll kind of clean our brush, grab that paper towel, just kind of blend it a little bit right here, just to get a little bit more of a gradation shadow. And then we're going to take some actual purple lilac color, or at least it's called lilac, we're just going to drop it in here and there just to create some variety. Take it and bleed it out on the edges. To create that little bleed here. That'll create a little bit more contrast and some nice variation, if you will. And then I'm also going to take in some lavender, which I think is a more lilac-y color, but you know, whatever. We're going to drop some of that in here on the darker side. Do a few here and there on the lighter. Not too much. And now we're going to let that fully dry, and then we'll go in with the X's. Well, we'll go in with the X's, and then we'll do the two side ones. So we're going to let that dry. We're going to scoot it up here. And yes, I am rotating 5 cards right now. I have a total of 10 to get through. So hopefully we can make this work. So with this one, the bouquets that are going to be kind of not super detailed, I am just making a blob of color, well, of water first. And then I'm just going to drop in random colors here and there. And it's okay if they have some of the paper behind them or in between the colors, because that just creates a little bit more of a effect of the bouquet having different colors going on. So we're going to start with the blue one. We're just going to kind of drop in colors here and there. And hopefully they will blend out a little bit. I'm going to drop in a bit more. And as you can see, it's already starting to bleed out, just like I was hoping. I just had to get a little bit more color in there. And then we're going to take some indigo. And this, we're going straight in with the other colors because we want it to bleed and create a nice variation in color. I might even take some purple on this one and blend it in. But after that, I want the, oh my god, how do I, dioxazine violet, I think is what it's called. And this is just going to be a nice, deep, bluey purple. And again, we're just going for that spread in there. And then I think I'm going to do some phthalo blue. So that is a nice deep color. And having these colors like this just kind of gives it a little bit more variation. And it looks like I actually have some water all the way out here. So let's add the purples over here. I want the deep purple. We're just going to kind of blend them out here. Then do a few on the inside. And then we will add some greenery after this fully dries. So that one is good. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with a bunch of pinks. And this one is already almost dry, so we can almost work 3 at a time, which is going to be nice. But I think I'm going to stick with the 5 at a time. So I can, you know, make sure it's 100% dry and hopefully get more of them done at a time. All of these, I'm just going to do a simple saying of Happy Mother's Day on at least the flower cards. I'm not going to do a saying on the inside because I am not good at writing stuff, so people can do it a little bit more personal, or if they have a fun saying or something like that, they can do that way. My stamp for the back of the cards is downstairs, so at least these like classic card ones, I don't know what they're called, like birthday cards. They're not postcards, just regular cards is what I've always called them. I do have room to put my signature stamp on there. However, with these postcard ones, because of it being a postcard on the back, I don't have the ability to stamp my logo on there. No, I didn't. Okay. So now we're going to go in with those pinks. So we're going in with some light pink here. Look at that bleed out. Oh, that is so pretty. We're going to go in with some candy pink, or light pink is what it's called. Some pastel-y pink. And I think I might even go in with that pinkest pink up there, so I'm going to activate that. I know it's not like a sparkly pink, but it gives a little bit more. Oops, I went in with the wrong pink. It just gives a little bit more variation here. And are we all the way? Yep, we're all the way on the edge. Okay. And I'm going to go in with some hot pink, which is this one. I don't dip in my hot pink much, as you can see from it still being mostly full. I find it a bit too dark for most of the projects that I'm working on with pink. I'm going to kind of a nice line over here for it. Just kind of blend that out. Give us some shadow. Have a little bit up here. Okay, and then we're going to go in with that Pinkest Pink. I have been dying to work with this pink. I have not. This is my first time touching it and seeing how it looks. I am excited. Oh, and that is a beautiful pink. Oh my word. That is so bright and vibrant on here. I know you guys can't see it as nearly as well as if you could on person. Oh, but trust me, this is beautiful. And I just squirted it in all my other colors. Did not mean to do that. I don't need a black pink. You know, like the band group. Okay, there we go. That is a beautiful pink. Like, I'm not even joking. I think I'm going to do a pink ribbon for this one and a blue ribbon for this one, just to kind of bring them together. And then I can do a red and orange one for this, for the third one. And then I'm going to do a classic like rose on the last one. And I'm doing a lot of flowers because of the fact that it is Mother's Day, and like the classic thing to go to for mothers is just flowers and candy, which I do. I could do some candy or like chocolates or something, but I don't want it to be too busy on these cards. I want it to be a nice, simple, kind of classical look. So for this one, we're going to start with the orange, regular orange, and just basically right here's my orange, and I'm just going to work my way up to rose red. And then for the single flower, the rose, I'm going to use rose red as the base. So this is spreading out beautifully. I love when it spreads out beautifully. That just means you have enough water on there to actually let it spread. Now we're going to go to orange red, which I find is more orangey than the orange. I guess I'm just a more reddy type girl than a yellow, because the original orange looks very yellow to me. Some of the water on here dried really quickly. And then I could do a pastel bouquet and just work with these colors up here, which could be fun. So this one is cadmium red. This one's just going to have a little bit more depth to it because I'm using more colors. Final one is rose red. Technically, I could use wine red to get some darkness in here, but I think we're doing okay with it kind of being a little bit more. Yeah, you know what? I think I am going to do a pastel one. So I'm not going to do the roses yet. I'll save that for the next batch of 5. I really, really want to do a pastel one. I don't know why, but it's like calling to me. And again, we're just kind of making random blobs here. So that way the flowers don't look too bouqueted or too symmetrical. And part of why I want to do a pastel one is it is May when the Mother's Day happens, which starts Friday, which is May 1st, where I have my first show, or my first show locally, I should say. And I feel like the fact that it's kind of still spring, but also kind of summer and winter and all those type of things just going on locally, that this would be a very nice kind of pastel-y spring for a mom. Okay. I'm gonna mix in some blue. Oop, that is not what I meant to do. Well, you know what? I'll make it work. Happy accident. We'll make it work. I'll just have some green coming out to that. Do some pink just to kind of help bring it in here. And I'll do some of the like purples and all that type of stuff over on the other side. So we're just kind of dipping and brushing on, hoping it spreads because it's wet enough. It's not super spready in some areas, but that's okay. That is okay. I forgot to do the purple sticking out. So we're going to do some purple here. Just kind of sticking out from the bouquet. And we'll have some greenery going toward that. Next is that macaroon violet. which I still think is a perfect lilac color in my opinion. We're just kind of getting some of these colors in here to make a nice pretty bouquet. Now you could go in and add dots here and there at the end to make like central parts pieces. I don't know if I'm going to do that necessarily, just because I don't want to add too much going on these floral bouquets. Final one is my candy yellow. And that just kind of brings in some brightness, some variation here. Kind of bring some of that out. I forgot to do the macaroon rose up here. So we're just gonna kind of do a little bit coming out. All right, so by now this one should be totally dry. So we're gonna work on the other two. Oops, we're gonna slide this up. We're gonna work on the other two bundles of lilac, and then once those ones are done, I will go ahead and do the little V's. So I need, make sure those are wet. Now I could technically just spray more water on them. I just realized I didn't do the thing. I forgot to wet the bundles first. That would have been embarrassing. It wouldn't have blended the way I would have liked. Okay. And as you can see, doing the kneaded eraser and making those lines very light to where I know you guys can't see them at all, I can barely see them, does make it so it doesn't show up in the final piece. The paint is not, watercolor is very transparent, but it's not so transparent that it can't cover really light pencil lines. Thought that message was someone talking. That was a very, very sudden message. Okay, so that gave that a little bit of definition. Kind of doing a little bit of a bump out here, just to give it a little bit more of like a natural floral feel instead of being a standard kind of words. So that way it's not a standard darkness. So we got that nice purple in there. I'm going to do some dots of the dark maroon. I'm going to get a little bit of darkness here. This one's going to be a little bit darker because it's in the shade. Don't know if I can, I can no, not really. I can't get those nice deep colors on that with the macaroon, but I can come in. This one's nice and wet. It's blending nicely. It's spreading out. And this one is also, so I got this wet enough for the spread. The middle one, I didn't get that nice spread here. Okay, and then we are going back in with that lavender. We're just going to do some dots here and there. Okay, now we let those dry, and then we can do the X's that will give a lot more color and variety, and I'll probably do those in regular violet, and then do the deep purple. The lines were lighter. No, I'll do the deep purple for the lines. So we'll do violet for the X's, deep purple for the lines, and then we will work on bringing in... Actually, I could use this. I haven't swatched this yet, but I could use this for the X's to bring some shine into this, and then use the violet for the dark lines. That might work nicely. Yeah, that'll work nicely. All right, so I'm going to come in with this blue one. Oops, and touch the red one, apparently. That's fine. That's totally fine. And for this one, like I said, I'm going to go in with the pinkest pink and make the ribbon, just so that way I can kind of tie some of these together. So we're going to take some of that water and reactivate the pinkest pink, which looks like it still has a lot of water. It's actually holding water pretty nicely. So maybe the honey that I used in this is keeping it nice and wet. So now we're going to come in with that pinkest pink. Just make a little bow here. Oh, I shouldn't have left it over here because I need more. It's just a pretty little bow with some lines coming out. And then I will use my iridescent green on these ones because I didn't put any iridescent in the bouquet itself, so I'll put the iridescent green on the stems, and that should bring it together. I don't have a normal blue in that palette, so I am going to use this palette for the blue. I am working on getting my my variation here of what colors I do and don't like. This one is still kind of wet, and so are these two, so I got to be a lot more careful of where I touch things. I'm going to do the Prussian blue. Actually, let's do indigo. I'm going to do indigo for the ribbon. That just feels like a nice deep blue here. And again, I got to be careful not to touch that pink. Otherwise, this blue will bleed up into the flowers, and then I completely screwed up the point of it. So we're just kind of bringing this down and out. Just kind of creating a nice little bow under these. So for the pastel one, I think I'm going to do... What color do I not see the most? I see the blue, I see the pink. Let's go with the candy purple for the ribbon here on the pastel. And again, it's still wet, so we got to be careful not to touch the floral part. Now, I can go in with a liner and kind of create the suggestion of flowers, but I don't think I'm going to do that either, just because I do want it to feel a little bit more natural. And by natural, I mean just being a blurry mess. It's far away, okay? I hear little feet, and I'm wondering if they're trying to come up the stairs like they normally do. My toddler has figured out how to open doors and climb the stairs without anyone watching him, and it is nerve-wracking. Baby tiger is very much a pain in the butt. Then for the red, I think I'm going to go with a yellow ribbon, actually. Just because I want it to still be warm colors. I think I'm going to go with the golden yellow. I want it to be warm colors and nice and kind of bright and shiny. Now, why am I got a million messages here. Hang on. Oh, it's my pharmacy telling me my meds are ready, and then my reminder for my therapy tomorrow which is pretty much the reason I can't stream tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to go in with that golden yellow here. We're just, again, going to make a ribbon. And I did get done with those postcards that I was making the other week with all of them to donate to my art league, to the person who sends out cards and things like that for special occasions and holidays. And they're just kind of like free cards people can pick up. So I did get those done. I made sure to stamp them so people knew, and sign them so people knew who they came from and can hunt me down if they so choose. And on the back of every stamp I do does have a QR code, which leads to my personal website. Okay, so now I'm going to let those dry a bit. These two look like they're pretty much dry already. Not completely, but, you know, they're getting there. These ones are very, very wet still. Okay, that one's going to have to stay there. So we're going to come in here. I need to activate my lilac and my greens, both greens, because I want it to have a variation in green color. And then with the lilacs, I am doing the flowers sparkle. Do I want to do the stem as well? No, the stem would... that stem would be too dark if I did that. I could do the green leaves as well. No, let's just go with the green, just the flowers is sparkly. So I'm just gonna wet up my palette. Like I said, I'm gonna wet these up. I'll wet up all of them just to be safe. Because I do want to try and use as much as I can color-wise and have some variation and things like that. For the stick of the lilac, I'm actually going to swap over to this flat brush, and I'm going to go in with a light yellow-brown, and we're just going to make a branch here. Apparently not wet enough here. Come on. Spread your beauty. And yes, I'm getting my table a little wet here. Fill of color. And we're gonna kind of take some sticks, attach them here. Them a little thicker. There we go. And then I will take the dagger brush to make the leaves. I'm waiting for these two side ones to dry a bit more because of the fact that they are still pretty wet. And then I'm going to take this dagger brush while I'm waiting for that. And I'm going to dip in the phthalo green. I'm going to get the phthalo green more wet, so that way I can work with it. And we're just going to come off this branch and make, yeah, see, it's too thick. We're just going to kind of make some nice leaves off of this. And the Happy Mother's Day will be down here on this one since I went a little higher than I would have liked on the picture itself. Put some green right here. That didn't work. We are going to do some variations on the green. Get some different shades of green on this. Okay. And then I find with the green, well, yes, it's better to let it dry. I like going in with it still slightly wet. Just kind of create some blend here. I'm going to do the lightest leaves dry. So this one is just a nice brighter green. Slightly brighter. And then once that's done, I'll go in with the very light green. So I'm going to let that dry a bit, and we'll probably end up doing the lilac X's before doing the light green, just because of how it's drying. And it looks like this bouquet is now ready for the stems. So we're going to come over here with this metallic green, well, two metallic greens that I have. And we're going to mix up. So we're going to start with the lighter green, which is very, very watery. I think I oversprayed. We're just going to kind of bring some stems in here. Just going to kind of bundle it together. Just kind of making the stems a little bit more existent here. And before I go in with that dark green, I'm going to let this dry so they don't blend together too much. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same with the other bouquets. So we're just going to create some lovely green here and there for the stems. And bring them down out here. Which again, this green is a little too watery, so it's coming off on the light side. I gotta remember to try and get these stems to look like they actually came from the bushes, bristles themselves. There we go. Okay. And this will be the shiny bit for each of my bouquets. I think it's going to be beautiful with the stems just kind of standing out here on their own. This idea was much better in my head, I will admit that. I did not anticipate not knowing how to do a stem on a flower. That should give it a little bit more variation. And the stems are drying pretty quickly because I don't have a lot of water on them. This one's taking a hot minute because I did put a lot of water on some of it. So we're going to do the same over here. And this one I'm also going to pull in those flowers to the center of the bouquet. I'm not going to take them down. I'm going to take them into the bouquet itself in the middle. I'm going to mix some dark and light green, just like I will on the stems at the bottom. So we're just kind of having some greenery here. And I could add some greenery into the bouquets, which might actually help create a little bit more of a feel here. So let's just add some greenery here and there. This just gives a little bit more of a feel of everything, really. There we go. Okay. I think I'm going to do that with the others here. Just kind of create some greenery in here. Some nice shiny greenery. Which, worst case scenario, if it doesn't look like it's a stem from the flower, it could be like the leaves or something. Which I could probably add some leaves to these. Might make it look a little better. Some greenery up here. I'm going to add a bunch of different greenery. I'm going to add this bright green. And then I'm also going to add the sap green that I made. Just to give it some variation. Over here. Just kind of looking for where I can see bundles of color. I'm just kind of coming off of that. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to let all that green dry before I go in with that shady green. This one, the greenery is still wet, but the lilacs are not, so we're going to go in with this lilac color I just made. Again, this is one I haven't played with yet, so I don't know how pretty it's going to look. We're just going to, oop, that's still a bit wet. We're just going to go in with these X's, kind of add some detail to them. They're really, really light, but in the light it shines and it'll give a little bit of a variation in the leaves. Now the very center of the flower is very, very dark. So I am going to add a nice deep dark purple to those in the center. Once these are dry, we'll be doing good. Now, I do love painting lilacs. They're a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys saw from the sticker. I also, when I first got this paint palette, this 101 underneath, it came with watercolor paper. And the first thing I did was take a whole, well, I cut it up afterward, but I took a whole sheet of the watercolor paper. Instead of making it into bookmarks like you guys saw I was doing, I actually did a full piece on it. And the piece actually became my lilacs. I do have the piece still, but I don't have like a way to protect it, like in a like in a protective sleeve or something like that. So I haven't thought about selling it. I may, but I was really proud of how it looked, so I wasn't concerning myself with selling it. Okay. Now while these are still wet, I'm gonna actually pull some water from up here. That is very, very wet still, and I'd like to be able to put my cross there. I can't get a very good cross because of how wet it is. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So with the cross is still wet, I am going to go in with that deep, deep purple. And we are going to make the little dots in the very center. I'm going to use my rigger brush that I got out for these dots. That way they can be nice and small. Wet it and then kind of sharpen that point. We're going to go in with that dot. We're just going to put a little dot in the center of each of these. It will spread out a little bit. That's okay. That's kind of the point. And then once those are fully dry, I will do the lines going into the dot. And some of these are so dry already that I have to actually paint it on instead of just put a spot and let it spread. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate when things dry quickly. Now I do want these fully dry for the lines because the lines are very, very small and very detailed, and I don't want them to spread out. So I will be waiting for these to fully dry before I do that. There's a little cross right there, and there's a cross right here that you can't see very well. These outer ones were still pretty wet, unfortunately. But I'm trying to get these done so I can be able to sell these at the craft show on Friday. I only have 2 days to work on them because I completely forgot Mother's Day was a thing. I mean, I remembered Mother's Day was a thing. I just didn't process how soon it was. So I didn't prep any art or anything for Mother's Day. And that green actually is mostly dry. So I think I'm going to go in with that light green, which is right here. And we are going to create some of those brighter leaves. And as you can see, that variation causes a nice kind of natural flow for these. The lighter one does look like it's further in the back. So I probably should have started with the lighter one, but that's okay. It's fine. Do one right here. There. That looks good. I kind of like that. Maybe one right here. And then once that's fully dry, I'm going to get out my paint, my brush liner. That one's a little bit thicker. I'm going to write Happy Mother's Day, and then I'm also going to sign it. And that should be good for this particular... Oh, and the lines. I'm almost done. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to slide this one down, and now we're getting out my custom color watercolors. I made all of these colors myself, and we are going to go in with that small round again, and we're going to make the sap green stems this time. These shouldn't be as plentiful as they are a completely different color. This is just to give some variation in stem color, really. So it's not all one green. And that will help it feel a little bit more alive. So we're going to do some green up here. Not a lot, just a little. I think I did a little too much green on this one, but it's fine. I probably did too much green on all of them. And that looks good. And then again, once it's fully dry, we'll take our paint brush or paint liner brush, and then we're going to go in and words are hard. We'll go in and write Happy Mother's Day and sign it at the same time. And this again is just to give it a little bit more variation in the bouquet. Get some different stems going in here. I do like this green. Again, this green I also haven't worked with yet because I just made it Saturday. So seeing kind of how it's working in the coloration change is very nice. I might mix it with a little bit of a more vibrant green for some of these, just so that way it kind of blends a little better. Maybe I'll even add some black to make it a nice dark green. But I was just working with the straight powder instead of mixing colors. I haven't worked with mixing colors yet. It makes me nervous. I want to make a silver, but I'm like scared that if I mix the black and the white, it's not going to turn silver. She's going to have black and white in it. I mixed it post right here, but I'm worried about doing it during the paint making process. And again, notice I am just trying to take these stems over to where they are touching a flower. Again, this can look like greenery on the outside. I could technically make it greenery, but I don't want to. I don't want to add a ton of greenery in this. There, okay. And then the last one is that red one. So we're going to pick it up, move it, move that pastel one, which the pastels kind of blended together and it looks a little muddy, so I probably should have used less pastels instead of all of them, which probably would have turned out a little better. Again, we're just going to that color to give a little bit of variation. We're going to come down here, add some stems. Some of this green kind of overtook the ribbon, which is fine. Not ideal, but fine. There we go. That looks pretty. So we have 5 Mother's Day cards. One is the lilac one is the only one left to finish. But while these dry, I'm going to kind of take a few seconds and drink some coffee, because coffee is amazing. And then we'll do some roses on the next 5. I think 4 bouquets is enough. 1 lilac I think I'm going to stick with. Probably do 2 or 3 roses. Maybe do a bundle of roses. One that's a single and then one that's a bundle. And what else is there? I have 2 more cards after that. Maybe I'll do some cats. Thank you for the hydrate, Sheriff. I shall hydrate with water. I think I might do 2 cats. So I'll do 3 roses, 2 cats, and then I think I'll be good, at least on these cards. I don't know if I'll be able to sell 10 cards, but then I'll move over to the postcards that I made of the candy, the dragonfly, and the cats, and work on those. I'm not going to do all the postcards because I do want to have some you can buy custom style. Or a commission. You can do a commission where I can do whatever style you are interested in. I can do more bouquets. I could do more roses. That will just be restricted to postcard instead of the overall. Kind of like card that you would give for like birthday card or Mother's Day card or that type of stuff. My back just quit on me. Been having some back pain today already. So I figured I'd have the TENS unit on while I'm doing this. And no, I do not want to hydrate more, Sheriff. No. Not allowed. I'll hydrate some more for you. I prefer my coffee for hydration, thank you. Oh wow, my tablet's at 38%. Even though it's charging right now. Oh, good lord. My toddler loves drawing and coloring. Well, coloring. Not really drawing. On my tablet. And so he keeps asking for it. And apparently he killed the battery. Okay, I think this one should be dry enough to... It's still a little shiny, but it should be dry enough to where I can make the lines now. Which I was going to do with the violet here. Which I know it looks really dark in the pan, but it's actually pretty light on paper. So we're just going to do a little lines coming out from that dot in the middle. And it's just like it's almost like a vein from what I've seen on the lilacs on the bush. As it dries, it will lighten up. I don't know how light it'll get, but it does lighten up a little bit. This particular bush that I have is the bloomerang. So I don't know if the lines is specific to the bloomerang or if all lilacs do it, because it's been so long since I actually looked carefully at a lilac to get detail at it. And I haven't seen many lilac trees around here for me to just like compare different species together. So we're going to go with the bloomerang style for my lilacs. This is, yep, just making little lines going into that dark center. which honestly, I think these lines might be darker than that dark center. I might have wanted to flip those two. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. On my swatch sheet, this particular color that I'm using for the lines is lighter than the center one, but we all know how that goes. Probably while these dry, pull out the cat ones I'm going to do. I can make space, that way while these are drying, before I put the words on them, I can start working on the next 5. I don't have a ton of space right now to just mass produce in crazy numbers, but 5 is quite a bit to do at once, so who knows, maybe I can fit 2 more, work on 7 at once. And cats are relatively easy. For the most part, what you do is just get it wet in a cat shape and then drop in some color. Just kind of here and there, just give it a little bit more suggestion on the cat instead of going full out with the cat. I feel like I don't have enough shine on this, just doing the flowers, so I think I'm going to go in and add some shine on the brown on the branch, and we're going to use this mica powder brown. I think I'm going to try the coffee one. I don't know. It doesn't really smell like coffee, so I don't know if that coffee really worked or at all. Coffee is definitely soaking up the water more than the mica powder one. So we're just going to go on this outside of the branch. Now this coffee one is a little chunky, so it is you can see some of the chunks of the coffee, but I don't think it's going to smell like coffee. I think I need to do a higher coffee to mica powder ratio for this one. I am going to get coffee smelling paint if it kills me, which it'll probably kill me, let's be honest. Trying to get that beautiful combination of coffee smell and everything else. Like, maybe I could do chocolate smell with cocoa powder. That would be probably easy since it's already a powder. Or coffee, it's really hard to grind up into a powder. Anyway, words. Anyway, I'm trying to do like what Too Faced did with their chocolate palette and peach palette, but with coffee and paint instead of palettes. And then I think I'm going to go in on each leaf with my rigger brush, and I'm just going to add a line in this darker green, which is absolutely flooded with water. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, green. And just kind of create that vein that goes through it. This will kind of help it feel a little bit more leafy. And that gives more shine because you know me. I cannot live without shine. Shine is pretty. Shine is good. Shine is shiny. You know, the works. My best friend thinks I like shine so much because of my ADHD. You know, ooh, shiny type thing. Get distracted easily. Now, I am going to also leave the inside of these blank. I'm not going to come up with like a saying or phrase or something funny like that, just because I don't want to deal with coming up with all these different sayings and stories and all that fun stuff. I'm just going to leave it like it is. I kind of want to do some shine on the bows, but I also kind of don't. I do have yellow. I do have purple. I don't have pink. I can fix up the pink, but I don't I have pink over there. You know, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of shine on each of these bows. So I'm going to do some pink over here. I'm going to do the purple, which is no, we'll go with the blue purple. No, we'll go with the lilac purple. And then yellow. Yellow is activated. Blue is kind of activated. And we're just going to add little shines on the bows. So we'll start with this yellow one because it's right next to me. Again, using the rigger brush, we're just going to brush on some shine here. Try and cover up some of that green that went into the bow. We're going to have a little bit of shine down here. Coming down the bow on the side. I don't know what it is about me and loving shine. It makes me so happy. This one has green absolutely everywhere right here. Try and get it to be more yellow. I screwed up into the bow itself. Over here. And now I could outline the bows a little bit with my liner brush, which I don't know, maybe I'll do just to give the bows a little bit more feeling. Get that mixed in, and now we're going to do some blue over here. And this blue almost matches exactly with the blue I used, which I think, if I remember correctly, was indigo. I made an indigo shiny. Just getting this bow just to be a little bit more shiny than it was, to help it stand out. Because the shine going on with the others, or the shine going on with the branches is the only shine you see. And that just kind of gives it a little bit, more to stand out with. So we're going to go with the lilac for this purple. And I know the more I add to it, the longer it's going to take to dry. But at the same time, I want it to be special because it's a hand watercolor painted Mother's Day card. And how much more special is that for Mom? You have a special belief, if you will. Probably should put out a Mother's Day card in the mail for my mom and just make one special for her. But that would be a pain because I know she would want Pomeranians and I suck at doing Pomeranians so badly. Which I've already, for one of her Mother's Day, did a special palms in space thing where, because you can't really find party palm colors anywhere. So I made her a palms in space painting. And she hasn't shown it, but kidnapped my other paintings that I did in an art class that were supposed to be going to a gallery. So I don't understand why my palms in space wasn't good enough, but my gallery was. At least for sharing. I don't know. That's her choice, her decision. I'm not going to go down that hole. I'm not going to decide that hole. That hole isn't for me to decide. Now this Pinkest Pink is kind of overlapping or overpowering this shiny pink. So it's probably going to still be the Pinkest Pink, but with a little bit of metallic. Because, oh my word, is that pink. I kind of really like working with the Pinkest Pink. I'm probably going to do a rose in the Pinkest Pink. And then I'm also going to do like a red rose and I think purple maybe? Or white. I couldn't do white. Just do it with a light gray. That could be pretty. It'll be hard to make it stand out though. I don't know if I can get the gray light enough to suggest it as white. And roses come in all colors. I would do a rainbow one. That would be a lot of fun. But watercolor isn't so good about stacking on the brush like most other ones. And I don't want to spend that much time coloring a petal. It would take forever. And then forever to dry because I'd have to do each individual petal and then do different colors. And it's possible. I just don't have time to do it right now. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry a bit. I think we're good to just go straight to the Happy Mother's Day. So there's my pens. I'm going to start with the brush pen. I'm going to start with the lilac one since it's the most dry. And we're just going to put Happy Mother's Day. Again, my stamp is downstairs, so I'll be able to stamp it later. I just can't do it right now. I took it downstairs because there was some stuff I needed to stamp. My cards for the art league had to be stamped before I took them in. There's that one. Set this one up here to dry. It's got to fully dry, not just somewhat dry. And then for these ones, I'm going to do a standard handwritten. And then I have two, well, three if you count the, why did that just turn off? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, I was pausing. I do have two, unless you count the craft show this Friday that goes Friday and Saturday. I guess we'll count it. I have 3 selling days between now and Mother's Day to sell these cards before I have to wait a year to sell them. Which, who knows, maybe I might still have them on display. But it's unlikely anyone will buy them between Mother's Day and next year and after Mother's Day this year. But who knows? Maybe someone does plan that far ahead on average. They may sell, but it's less likely to sell, I guess, is the best point I'm trying to make. Okay, so I got 3 up there, and then I can put 2 up there so I can work on the cats. It's only been about an hour, and we knocked out 5 of them, so that is fantastic. Maybe I will get to work on the rat pig piece a little bit today. And like I said, I will be doing commission pieces there. I haven't decided if I want to do them with watercolor and take basically my entire watercolor setup, which will be a pain because I can't walk away from the table really to swap out my dirty paint very often. I could take a container and use my water bottle as the clean water and just put it into the container when it's dirty. I could do that. I don't know if I want to do that. Or I can just do it with colored pencil, which I may do. I may do the customs on site with colored pencil. I'll probably take these liner pens just so that way I can just that way I can line it and, you know, have a little bit of a painter feel. And sign it, of course. All right, so that is all of those done. Now, I could add some white dots into the bouquets. I'm not going to, because I like the lighter colors and just kind of having that separation. But that is something I could do. I'm not going to. This is if you want to make your own, this is how you do it style. And then these are the last 5, right? Oh, I did. Okay, I did do them all on the right side. I just realized I might have flipped those. These are the envelopes. I don't need the envelopes. I need the cards. Come on, liner brush. There we go. And then we'll put those 3 over there. And now we'll take 2 of these. Opening the right way. And then we're going to do the cats. And then after that, we'll do the 3 roses. And I may do one of them with 3 and 2 single. That might be how I kind of vary it up. I'll do like an orange, a pink, and maybe a red, just for the 3 fur. And then I'm definitely doing a pink for a single. And then I haven't decided what the other single I want to do is yet. But for this one, or these 2, we're going to do cats. So for cats, you just kind of wet the body and the tail. And I mean wet it. Like, you do not want it to be dry at all. You don't want it to be glossy. You want it to kind of flow and move. So very, very, very wet. And then just make a little tail. Make sure the tail is very wet as well. Try and get it as even as you can. And I think I'm just going to do an orange cat and a black cat. Not like a fully black, but like a black and a party cat, I guess is the color it would be. So I'm going to start with the orange cat. And for the orange cat, you do want to do this light orange that I activated earlier that is currently out of water. So I'm just going to kind of spread this around. We're going to try and get as much of this orange all over the place as we can. Orange cats are a little bit easier to do in the sense that most of them is orange, where this technique allows you to do a nice natural flow on a like a calico cat. But this flow will also help us with blending the different lines, getting different variations in the orange, that type of stuff. Just kind of blending this out. And now I need to do the brownish yellow, which is going to be a yellow ochre in for the lines on the tabby cat. Kind of darken these a little bit and let them blend out. Kind of come down from up here, get some sides over here, put a little bit there. Then we're going to kind of put some down here. Notice the bleeding is causing a much more natural looking tail situation. I'll do one more line right here. There, okay. So there's that orange cat. We can do a background around it. I may not this time. I may just, we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I see the final look and how much time I have. So now we're going to do it again. This time with a black and gray cat. So I'm going to make sure the black is activated. My gray looks like it got squirted. So my light gray and my normal gray look very similar. I don't know why or what I did. I don't know if it's just over time they kind of combined. So I feel like I have two of the same color. Now this cat is looking like it's going to be a little bigger just because I accidentally made the body too big. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Now these ones I could do a Happy Mother's Day and then You're Perfect on the inside, which could be fun. Or I can just do the You're Perfect on the outside. I haven't decided. I think I might do the You're Perfect on the outside. I'm not good. I'm not Hallmark. I'm not good at coming up with fancy sayings to make you feel good about yourself or your mom or whatever. I'm just doing the art. Okay, we're going to start with the gray, which needed more water. Apparently I should have sprayed it again. We're just going to kind of bring this in. And as you can see, that gray spreads very nicely. We're just kind of adding it here and there. Make sure we get it in the cat so it blends out. So we're just kind of adding different spots here to the cat. And we'll probably go into those gray spots with the black. Just so that way we can kind of keep the dark spots together. So now we're going to go in with that black and we're just going to kind of dip it in here and there, which makes those gray spots a little darker, creating a little bit more of a calico look. I don't know how well you can see it, especially with the white being most of the body. This one I may have to do a background with. There we go. Okay. There's the cats. We got the cats. Okay. I kind of want to do Happy Mother's Day, You're Perfect on the inside of these. But I don't know if I will. And I think I'm going to leave I might do a splatter background maybe on these. I could. Let's do a splatter background. Re-wet these oranges and yellows here. I'm gonna just take this and just kind of splatter it around. Gotta be careful not to get it on the other one. Take this orange, this regular orange. Pull this card away because I feel like I'm about to splatter that card. And we'll take this golden yellow. Then we're going to take some of these inside ones and we're just going to blend them out. Just create a little bit more of a cat is in the front instead of in the back situation. Go, that looks good. Now the black and gray one is going to be hard to do the splatter with. The best way to do this would have been masking fluid, but yeah. Just gotta be careful here to not splatter too far into the cat. A little bit more here. We're going to splatter some black on here. Now these ones won't have much for, say, shine. Again, we're just kind of blending out these colors on the cat itself, just to kind of give a little bit more of that feel of the cat in the front instead of in the back. I think that's good. Now I could do the Happy Mother's Day in iridescent. That I could do. Or the You're Perfect in iridescent. Which I might do. What do I wanna do? I think I am gonna do the Happy Mother's Day in iridescent and just write it with my paintbrush. So I'm gonna get the slightly smaller round brush. And we're gonna do a little swappy swap here, because my right hand is a pain to try and get these. So I'm gonna re-wet this orange because it dried really fast. I did do the honey with, I did the gliss. I did honey with this one. I didn't do glycerol with the other ones, or with the original one. So that might be where I'm having the drying issue on these old ones. The glycerin must be what keeps them wet. Come on, stay wet. Don't make me have to spray you. I do like the sprays a lot better than the squeezy brush or squeeze bottle, just because of the fact that I can control how much water with the spray a lot better than the squeezy bottle. Then, of course, I'm going to sign these in black. This time I'll do it with the paintbrush. Alright, so there's that one. Now I want that black, which is still wet. I guess I can sign my name with that black shiny. That's fine. It is not still wet. I was seeing the bottom of the pan. We're just going to sign my name. There's some hair on it, which caused a little bit of a line, but that's fine. Okay, and then this one goes to Drive City. About an hour and a half in, and I got 3 more cards to do at minimum. It is 12 minutes to 12 minutes to 2, and I can probably go till about 3:30 here working before I need to have a break and not kill myself. Coffee, coffee, coffee. This one I might actually take and do some of my sparkle black. So I got glitter for... Put some more in there. I did get glitter for my paints and trying to make like glitter paints, which I guess I just didn't do correctly because of the fact that they don't paint very well. They're kind of chunky and they're not very consistent. So I think I need to work on my glitter technique. For this one, I'm going to do that glitter as part of the background. So I might just take it and like dip it down instead of splattering it like I did with the others. So I'm going to go ahead and swirl up this glitter. I have 3 glitters. I have a Christmas glitter with mica powder, and then the black is a Christmas glitter with, or a black glitter with mica powder. We're just going to kind of drop this in here and there. Which, as you can see, no, this is just glitter. It does not have mica powder. So as you guys can see, the glitter isn't too great on its own. Kind of spreads out, and it's not what I expected it to be. I really need to learn how Lizzie Linka does their paint. I need to kind of work with it and see how it interacts with the paint and how it's working. Like, is it fully glitter? Is it just mica powder? Is it mica powder and glitter? Like that type of stuff. I think my favorite way to do this so far is the mica powder and glitter, because the glitter is so spread out that the mica powder gives it a little bit in between where the glitter pieces actually come down. Now, as you can see, I can get some dark lines with or dark amounts of the glitter when I initially put it down. It just doesn't last very much. It's just how much glitter is in that paintbrush at the time, really. And this also gives me a little bit more control over the splatter effect because of the glitter not being so great for splatter effects. I can spread out the glitter a little bit here. Do some glitter up here. Kind of control the glitter amounts. Now the Christmas glitter one I do like doing for Christmas. It is really pretty. It's got red, green, and gold in it. But I may take it out of this palette for now, at least until we get back to Christmas season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not Hobby Lobby or Michaels. I'm not doing Christmas and Halloween in April. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but Hobby Lobby has already got out all the pumpkin stuff for Halloween. And may I add in, not only does it have the pumpkin stuff for Halloween, they have wreaths in the back according to the workers. So they've already got Christmas even. It's April. Well, I guess it's still April. It's not May till Friday. It's just like, are you insane? Company, why? Okay, so that has a little bit more glitter. I think I might do the mica powder and glitter for the orange cat. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these out. I think I'm going to add the mica powder with the glitter on this one. So we're going to wet it up. Give that a few seconds to get nice and wet because it does need a lot of, it needs a lot of wetness just so that way it can activate the gum arabic and release some of that glitter so I can access it. Halloween, yes. Christmas, eh. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Hobby Lobby and Michael's are already doing Halloween and Christmas. The Christmas stuff isn't put out yet, but it's in the back. They've already got it ordered. It's concerning. A lot of people skip over the July holiday, and I don't blame them. Not much to celebrate right now. Okay, so got the mica powder in there. I'm trying to activate some of this glitter. I may have to go in with the straight glitter instead of the glitter and mica powder. So I'm going to also activate that one. Just so that way I can get some of this glitter in here. So this is a mica powder with glitter. And as you can see, it still has the glitter there, but it has more color as well. It's just harder to get the glitter in. So I may have to do straight glitter into some of these dots. And this is definitely giving a more kind of universal feel of like the splatter art. I know it doesn't look very splattery, but the glitter spreading out gives it a little bit more of a classic watercolor feel. This music is so calming. I don't know about you guys, but I really like lo-fi. It's so nice to paint to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some of the mica powder with the glitter. Definitely works a lot better than you would think for it. But I like having that straight glitter just so I can go in and add some more glitter to each spot. Not the black glitter. Well, that one has black now. That's fine. So notice that I am able to get a little bit more glitter. It's about the same as with the mica powder. So the mica powder at least gives some color where there isn't glitter. So I like the mixture of mica powder with glitter. The black one I did on its own while making the mica powder and the Christmas glitters on their own. So I didn't know that I liked the mica with the color on black. I'll remake it once it's finally out. And that next time that I make it, I will add the mica powder in. And any future glitters I make will also have mica powder mixed in. So this is nice and shiny now. Well, getting there. Has a little bit more option. And I'm trying to, as you guys know, do all of my pieces with some sort of shine. The only exception to that is my stickers, because of the fact when I scan them in, it's not going to show the shine anyway, and I don't know if I'm going to ever sell the originals. I haven't decided that yet. But if I do if I do sell the originals, I'm probably going to go in and add that iridescence to it. Because I didn't add like any iridescence while painting it. There, okay. I'm gonna let the two cats dry, and then once they're fully dry, I'm gonna write on the inside "You're perfect" on both of them. I'm not gonna do. I guess I could do "Bundle of Joy" on the flowers, or what would be a good lilac saying? Lilac. You never lilac. Wisdom, maybe that might be good. Oop, don't fall off. So I think these first 5 are done. Let's go ahead and put something inside of them. No, because it's not bundle. No, yeah, I'll do bundle. All right, this one is fully dry. So you never lilac patience. There we go. I like that. You never lilac patience. I'm gonna go with a 1 millimeter inside of the brush. we'll do a little heart. For Lilac Patience. Give that a few more minutes to dry because I think that inside will be dry. You're a bundle of joy for all of these. We'll do hearts with each of these. These are looking really, really good. I am very happy with where we're at right now on this process. At least with these repetitive ones, like the bouquets and stuff, it's easy to come up with a saying and then have it be all the same saying, even though I'm not good at these. And I'm putting them up high enough so that way people can write their own sayings if they want. I would hope a lot of people like adding their own like little notes or phrases or something instead of just signing a card. But we all know it's probably just going to be signed and then handed over because some people aren't as creative or want to be as heartfelt in their stories. These are turning out so cute. I just hope people like them. That is my hopes. I am getting all kinds of notifications. Holy cow. Oh, someone in the front yard? What? Oh, we had a delivery. Did I get a delivery? What was in my delivery? I don't even remember. I have no clue what's in the delivery. Because I got nothing. I got nothing. What is in the delivery? Okay, I do have some overnighters that I should probably buy. Like the craft paper for wrapping my 16 by 20s if anyone buys them. I should probably do a pencil sharpener, especially if I'm going... Well, I have a pencil sharpener I can use for now, so I can wait on that. I want to get the cube wire storage so I can build up and show off some more of my original art. I don't know if I should pop that yet. That's $50 right there. And I do need a linen or a tablecloth of some kind so I can cover up my table because I can set it up tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. I can set it up tomorrow night and I can set it up tomorrow night and then cover it and then show up just before the start of the craft show instead of showing up super early for the craft show and having to set up then. How dry are these? These look... Oh, they're still a little wet. I just got glittered. I got glitterified. Yeah, these are too wet. I'm not gonna do those yet. So let's go ahead and do... I don't know how I want to do this. Words and stuff. Let's get one. Okay, come on, separate. You know what? 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these are dry enough now. Not seeing any water or anything. I do see my coffee here. Little coffee specks. I can't smell any coffee though. Like I can smell the coffee with the straight coffee. It has a very chocolate smell to it. The original coffee. Oh, I forgot to turn that light on. The original coffee was not just straight normal coffee, quote unquote. So it does have a little bit of a scent to it from that original, but it's not super coffeeified. Now I could also get a, how much would be, oh gosh. Hard stand. Oh, I can use my, okay, I can use the bookmark stand for that. For display. Wrong type of display. Yeah, I can use the bookmark ones as a card display for now. Oh, I just saw the one I was looking for. The rotating one. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I am suddenly now being blinded by the light. Oh my goodness. I need a... Oh, there we go. It's a sun lamp that I turned on and it's just so freaking bright. I just turned it down. The cat ones are still drying. We're going to go ahead and do the roses now, which are not in this deck. Where did they go? Where did they go? Where did I put them? I lost my stuff already. How'd I lose it? What? Oh, they're under the note. Okay, never mind. I did not lose them. I am just blind. They're under my liner pens. So, chat, what do you guys think I should do for a saying for the roses? Help me come up with a saying for the roses, because I have no freaking clue. You're a thorn in my side, but I love you? Maybe? Always there to, you're blooming, maybe. No, that seems too boring. I don't know. Okay, let's just paint them. Let's just paint them. Maybe I'll come up with something as I paint them. So with these, I am going to take the slightly bigger round brush. Like I said, I want to do one in the pinkest pink. So I'm going to do one in the pinkest pink. And with these, you got to keep it very concentrated in the center. And then as you go out, you lighten it. The goal is to have a nice concentrated center. Then dip it a little bit in your water just to lighten it up as you go outside. Then as you go out further, the bigger the round brush, the better this is. But I don't want to get out my super big round brush right now. Okay, so we're going to dip it again just to kind of help it flow here. Maybe a tiny dot more just to kind of help these with some color. I'm going to wet it a little bit. Some of this color because I don't want that much color in one area on the outside here. I'm just going to take some water and kind of wet it and pull up that color. Take up more of that color and I think I'm almost done with the rose. Very pretty pink here. So a very nice light rose on the outside with the deep dark color on the inside. We're going to take some of this pink here because that one is standing out. I'm just going to kind of put it over here on this one. Okay, there we go. So that's the pretty rose there, and then we will go in and make some leaves. Now I'm going to do another rose. This time, I'm thinking, what color do I want? Oh, what color do I want? Let's go with a standard rose red. So we're just going to go right here with this rose red. We're going to get it nice and thick. And we're just going to slowly, as we go out, lighten up. It is kind of lightening too quickly here. Just kind of slowly, gradually coming around. This rose red is not working with me. This one might have a little bit more color on the outside of the center. Doing that dip into the one that came very vibrant and pulling it out just like I did on the pink. Just try and keep it a little bit more consistently going lighter on the outside instead of having that nice dark there. Dip it a little bit and then water it down. That was way too dark still. We'll pull from those in a minute. Pull from this one. Pull from this one again. Wet that area where it's super dark. That lightened it up a lot. Right here. I think that looks good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Other than this one weird line on this one. So when you do drop color and try to pull it up, it does slightly cause an outline depending on how wet it is. So I'm trying to spread that wetness around. Pull up most of it so it doesn't look all funky. Okay, there we go. That looks a little better. Now we're going to do the three fur. I think I'm going to do red, orange, and yellow. Just so that way I can get a nice... I'm going to do the lemon yellow, orange, and then we'll do the cadmium red. Now the cadmium red was already pretty red, so I should be, or pretty wet, so I should be able to go right in with that. And these ones we're going to do a lot smaller. So that way I can get more space here. I gotta be careful because as you guys can see, where I lift my brush up, it is giving a lot more color. I don't want that. So we got to go through and kind of pull that color off of there as I go around. And that is just due to how watercolor works. Unfortunately, you can't always control where it pools or how it pools. You can control how much issue it's going to give you in a little bit. That one. wet it a little bit just to make sure we get the nice fluid petals. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go with the orange one, which I think I'm going to put right here, and yellow one right here. So we're going to go with the orange. Now this is a red orange, but I find it more orangey than the oranges because the regular orange is very yellow to me. I like this one better. I might, just for these roses, leave them with no Happy Mother's Day or anything like that, so that way they're a little bit more universal and can be used for any occasion. I might not write in these right now. Gotta get that flow going. These ones I do kind of want to overlap here to look like they are next to each other. Then we gotta do one down here. Take some of that orange from up there. There we go. So that's that orange rose done. Oop, don't clean in that water. That's my clean water. And now for the last one, which is the lemon yellow, which in my opinion is a very, very bright yellow. Then as these roses dry, we'll be able to, and especially with the outer rings, which should dry fairly quickly because there's not a lot of water on them. Should actually give us some nice leaf colorations after that. Dip a little bit in the yellow and then water it down. That was not watered enough. It's fine. The yellow is always very vibrant. So even as it comes out, it's still pretty vibrant in here. That's the biggest rose on here. Trying to bring them like more close, I guess, but it kind of looks like I just made the yellow way too big. Oh well. It's fine. So then for the leaves, so I'm going to set these up here to dry. The leaves, you want to use a dagger brush. And I'm going to start with the light color and go into the darkers. This way I'm doing it properly this time. So I want some light green or yellow green. Just going to do about 3 of them on here. Yeah, I'm going to do 3. And oh, I don't know why I washed it. I need to go back in with the light green. And we're going to do them over here. Do one right here. And we'll do one, just one up here. Okay. Now we gotta give those a minute to dry before we do the next screen. I might be able to do the green on this one. So let's go ahead and move this down here. And we'll just kind of work as we go. Add some more water to that. Kind of adding some greenery in here. Okay, that looks good. This one looks like it actually dried before this one, so we'll go back in with this one. The next one I would want is the fruit green, which is this bright one up here. is not super great on this. And I just realized I did no iridescent yet. So I'll probably do some iridescent in the in the leaves themselves for the veins, like I did on the other piece. Okay, I might do a green over here, coming off this side and this side. Then I need more water in that fruit green. I'm gonna do here, do one here, maybe one right there. And the key to this is just layering the leaves so they look a little bit more natural, especially as they come over the flowers. And this yellow green next to the yellow is very lost in the greenery. So then I think for the last one, I'm going to do a sap green. So we're going to go ahead and dip, add some more water to the sap green. And this will be the darkest color that we have. And it is really, really wet, so it's kind of messy putting it down. Yeah, sap green is very wet. Sap green over here. Again, I have to wait for these leaves to fully dry before I can do the lines in them. So I will be letting these dry fully before I go in with that iridescent sap green that I made. And then this should be done. So as you guys can see, the layering effect that dark green gives in comparison to the light green. It's kind of a nice floral effect, if you will. And I could make some stems with some thorns if I really wanted to. But I kind of don't want to. I hope you guys can hear that spirit lo-fi music. Oh, I think my TENS unit just turned off. I've been using it for my back pain. I think it's been about an hour, which it has. It's 1:56, so let's go ahead and reactivate that. Locked it again. Okay. So we're gonna let those fully dry. While those are drying, I think I will get out the postcards here. This one's gonna take a while because it's a lot of colors and I don't remember what all it did. I may just do colored pencil on it. That might be a good idea. I could paint it all one color for the background and then color pencil it. See, I don't remember what that was. If that was another candy bar or what. Oh, that was the coconut bar. Right. Neapolitan bar. Cats and dragonfly. Let's go ahead. We're going to do our best. I don't remember what color dragonfly was. I have it in my book downstairs, my sketchbook, but I don't remember what I did for it. One thing I hate is how expensive stamps have gotten. Remember when they were just a penny? Yeah, now I've been looking at them for making this where I can set this up on my website. And it's freaking 78 cents per. It's insane. Yes, it's less than $1, but still, that's insane. Okay, let me cheatsy doodle this a little bit. Watercolor dragonfly. Okay, it looks like a lot of gray, a lot of black, and then just brightly colored wings. So I think I'll do the black with the yellow and pink wings. And I'm going to do red eyes. So we're going to start with the eyes, and then we will do the wings. So that way I can do the black safely without those getting in the way. So the red was a cadmium red, in my opinion. But kind of spread out a little bit, so it's a little bit lighter than the thick one. Then the wings are really special because of the fact that they blend and they have a kind of transparent look to them. You're not going to see the lily pad underneath. I'm not going to have that kind of transparent. That it can be hard to actually do without messing up your colors. And I don't want to mess up my pretty colors with this. So this is a lot of yellow. I think I'll put in some candy blue. So candy yellow, candy blue. And then I'm going to do I want the pinkest pink or pink? Let's go with pale pink in there. So just re-wetting those colors. Because yes, I activated them, but they do dry over time. And I don't want them to be too dry when I go in to do this. I will use the pinkest pink on the water lily though. The little bit of red, then pinkest pink, and then a yellow center on this lily. Most water lilies you see are probably white. Those are the most common ones, but they do come in all sorts of colors. Now I'm going to go in with that yellow first. Just going to kind of drop it in here. And we'll blend it around in a minute. Just kind of blending this out. Kind of giving it a little bit more flow here. Now this wing is going to be the darkest because that's where I started the drip. Instead of wetting it, I just kind of went straight for the drip. My bad. Then we're going to come in with that blue. We're going to go just down here. Just kind of create a little bit more of a bluish tint, almost green it looks like, because I mixed it with the yellow, and that's not what I wanted, but that's what we're going to get now. Kind of trying to blend it up here into the colors. And then pink will go right on top. Get some more of that blue in there. This gives it just a little bit more of a blended feel. And let's be honest, dragonfly wings are very, very pretty. Then we're going in with that pale pink, which should be pretty vibrant here in comparison to everything else. My goal is to kind of lose some of that vibrancy and blend it in. That should create a nice, pretty, as it dries, kind of blend into the wing. Kind of pull some of the pink out on this one. We're going to wet it so that way it blends a little nicer. There we go. And then since that is now dry on the eyes, I'm just going to add little dots here and there to give the look of like a million eyes on it. I waited for that to dry because I didn't want these eyes to kind of spread out and blend. So now we're going to go over here. And actually I'm going to do an orange around the ring. I'm going to do orange here. And then it will gradiate from pink to red. I want the pale pink in the second row, the pinkest pink from Stuart's Temple in that Or no, I want pink in the first row, pinkest pink in the second row, and then red in the third. So we're just kind of doing every other row here for this nice, lovely, beautiful flower. And yes, I am having fun working with the pinkest pink. It is a really pretty watercolor. I can't wait to try it as an acrylic for the Wrap Bag Crossing piece. And I can probably on this one, because there is a lily next to it. No, because the pinkest pink is touching it. No. Okay. I will not be able to, what I was getting at is I will not be able to work on the lilies quite yet. Oh my goodness. Okay. That pinkest pink is very wet. I do not need to respray it, that's for sure. So we're going to go on the second row and we're just going to do the pinkest pink, which I think is a beautiful, wonderful pink. It's very vibrant and in your face, and I love that. There is enough water in the palette that I don't need to re-dip my brush. I just need to make sure I'm dipping in that wet section. I'm getting a bit milky here, which means I am not dipping in that wet section like I should be. Ooh, my eye just blurred for a second. Yeah, my eye, either my glasses are dirty or my eye is fogging. And when I blink, it gets rid of the fog. So I'm going to guess it's not my glasses. I'm going to guess my eyes are fogging. Either that or they're drying out. One of the two. I don't have a window open. It is supposed to thunderstorm again today. It's been thunderstorming all week, which sucks because I can't get my plants planted in my front garden. I did get my lilac bush planted on Monday, I want to say it was, which is really nice, but I can't plant anything else right now. That pink is so pretty. It's so freaking vibrant. It is insane how vibrant this color is. Ow! All right, thank you for the hydrate. Hallway window is open because cats. I know, it sounded like the window in here was open. Thank you for the hydrate. I hydrated with water. I may have to refill my water soon if you keep this up. Thank you for not doing it too crazy. I appreciate that. It's 2:31, so I am getting a lot of these done. I didn't think I'd get this many done. I think I'm gonna stop with the postcards after these 3 that I'm doing, and then leave the rest for commissions on site. So I think, in my opinion, I may be able to get it to words. I think I might be able to get it to get enough commissions that I can get through most of those postcards. And if not, that also leaves some cards for Father's Day to make. I don't have any more regular cards. It's all postcard style now. I could get more, but I don't want to. I'd rather try and, make some sales before I buy more product. Okay, getting this lily nice and wet. That way I can do some colors on it. I'm also going to do this lily because it's not touching anything that is currently wet. So we got that nice and wet here. I may not do the candy one, I won't lie. Just because I think it may be a touch too much on the candy one. I may go downstairs and color it with colored pencil just because of how much is going on with that candy. I don't want to overdo it. Right, so I got that light color in there, and then we're going to go with that light green. We're going to finish it up. Kind of blend it in. These will get more detail later, but this is just for the initial coloration here. I may do a little bit of blending with a darker color just because of the fact that these will have shadows and things like that all over them. I will also be getting out my P.H. Martin's white for this one, as it as the lilies do hover on the water, which will cause them to have a little bit of a water reflection with a little bit of white on them. So we're kind of blending out this light green. I think I will go in with that darker green, which I think I'm going to do malachite here as my dark. I'm just going to kind of bring some dark over here, a little bit right there. And this will actually get some lines in it later with either the bamboo or the sap green. This is just for the initial shadowing effect. This I do want to blend as much as I can because I don't want it to be too stark a difference. Just kind of blending out that green. Just give it, like I said, a less stark difference. There we go. That's much better on that one. Okay. Let's take up some of this one over here. Okay, that looks better. Oh, as I drop that. So now we gotta wait for all of this to dry before I can do the next layers. This one is going to be very, very colorful and very, very blue. It's going to go all the way to the edges and things like that. So it's going to be all over the place. The pink does look dry enough that I might be able to do this lily, but I think I'm going to save that lily and that lily for the same time. So there's that. Let's work on the cats. So the cats, I'm just going to wet the heads with apparently a green. Good Lord. Let me pull up that water real quick. I went into my normal water or my clean water, and apparently I had too much green. Nope, I still have too much green on my brush. Or my clean water is now green. One of the two. And this one I'm doing kind of like pop art. So once these cat heads are dry, I will do the noses and then I will do like a pop art feel in the backgrounds. So these cats are all going to have different colors. And I'm going to try and make them a little more vibrant. Like I'll do a black, but maybe I'll do like a red or a orange or a yellow. Maybe I'll keep the cats warm and the background cools. No, let's do cools on the front and warm on the cats will be cools and the backgrounds will be warm. I think that'll make it a lot nicer. Now I probably should have erased some of my lines on here before I did this. So I do need blues and greens. My blues are kind of drying out here. Get some purples in here. And then, oh, peacock blue. I can do a peacock blue. That'd be pretty. And then some greens. Yeah, my clean water is a lot less green now, so I think I just had some green left on my brush, and that was my issue. Trying to keep these wet, nice and wet, so that way I can do the bleedy effect. I may be able to only do 4 at a time here. Just gonna suck. I think my leaves are dry on my floral bouquets for the Mother's Day / whatever day. So I might be able to do the iridescent on those flowers now. We're going to get these cat faces done first. I'm going to do different colors here. It's not going to be consistent. I have enough shades of colors that I should be able to get away with not doing super consistent looking ones. So we're going to start with this Diosine Violet. We're going to put this in this one. Put quite a bit of it in here. And this gives a more natural kind of bleed effect. I don't want these to be one solid color. If I wanted that, I would go get my colored pencils. Okay, maybe not, but I wanted to have a little bit of variation in the coloration. Have a little bit more on this side. So I want it to be nice and dark. And And I will go over with my fine liner with these ones to create that nice face. And then I want a peacock blue. Well, peacock greenish blue, I guess. I haven't dipped it in this one outside of the swatch. So we're going to put that with the bow tie. And this one was really thick, so I don't need to dip in it again. And yes, I'm leaving the noses out because I'm going to make them all pinkest pink. Just so that way they can stand out a bit. Okay. Alright, let's do a green. We're going to do deep. No, let's do bamboo green. Which apparently I did not spray. Go bamboo gray with this one. Or bamboo green, I should say, not gray. This isn't a gray color. What am I saying? And then I should do some vibrant. I want these to be more muted colors because of the fact that I want the background to really pop them out. Okay. Let's go with a lake blue as another blue. And we'll do this one down. We'll do this one by the green. And I'll do some neutrals for the designs on the, like the shades and the ties and bows and things like that. I'll do a more neutral color. Just so that way we have a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? That way we have a nice contrast in colors here. For the other green, we'll do a malachite green. No, let's do grass green. I don't dip in grass green like ever. Do the green down here. This is a much more vibrant green. Kind of spread this around, give it a little bit more color everywhere. More pigment. Then we'll do the purple. Which purple do I want? Let's go with lavender. I really like lavender, and it's barely used in my stuff. Oh, this one dried. I didn't wet it enough. Yeah, it's fine. Just means it's going to be a little bit more solid of a color and a little bit like a milky instead of tea. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to give time for those cats to dry, and then I will do the accessories and the nose. And once those are done, I will do the background. So these ones can all come here. And now this can come here. And we can do some of those lines on the leaves. Oh, this is very chunky. I'm gonna add some water to that. I'm already at the bottom of the pan, but I mean, it started at the bottom of the pan. It all kind of chunked up. Hopefully, as it dries, it'll re-solidify. This is way too much on my brush. Trying to get a nice clean line here. Can be a challenge at times to get a nice clean line. As you can see, adding these lines into the leaves really creates a drastic difference in how they feel. And it also gives me somewhere to iridesce. Because I forgot to. I am very, very happy that the Pinkest Pink worked so beautifully. with the watercolor. It is basically falling apart, but it'll re-solidify as it dries. I may have used a little too much glycerin on the newer ones that I did. Definitely like this olive green a lot more. Well, sap green, I guess. A lot more for the lines in the veins. I used to use this grass green, I think is what it was. I don't remember exactly which one I picked up. But I used to use the grass green as the green iridescent, and it can be just a little too vibrant at times. It doesn't give enough contrast. So I do really like this sap green that I made. Probably why I'm using it so much today. Okay, so that's done. And then I do need to sign these, so I'm gonna activate my black a bit. Nope. So again, I will talk about this multiple times today. This is my second time mentioning it. There will be no stream Friday, as I do have a craft show Friday that goes from basically till like 10 in the morning to about 3 p.m., which is the end of when I would stream. So I'm not going to actually try to stream that day. And then Saturday, I also have another craft show. And then Sunday, I can hopefully rest. And I will be back on the Monday after. Probably making more Mother's Day cards if they sell out. I'm hoping they don't sell out, so that way I can have some for the farmers market. But I'm also hoping they do, because I would like to actually have some money here to put into my business. I don't have a proper setup yet. I do need to I need to get some cubes to hang my art from, but the cubes are like $50, which is insane. So yeah, trying to do some art so that way you guys are interested, and hopefully if you're interested enough, you'll purchase stuff, because I need stuff purchased badly. I know I have talked about making a website forever, and I was gonna do shipping and things like that. Activate the white browns here, so that way for the cat one, the pink is pink. I don't think I need more water, but we're putting more water on it. This is still drying, it looks like. The body looks okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a shiny black body. Yeah, we're gonna do a shiny black body, and that will be where the shine is on this one. And then I'll do some of the water waves with a shine. Just that way I can have a little bit of shine on here to kind of fit with my style. And I will be doing the cat's accessories with the metallics here, because the background I want vibrant. Like I might be using these fluorescents for the background. And then that means I have nowhere else to put shine other than in the accessories. Because I don't have enough shiny colors. Well, I mean, I guess I do on my palette I bought, but not on the palette I made, to have done the cats in all kinds of different shiny colors. Okay, there's the black dragonfly body. I think I'll do a metallic yellow on the inside of the flower. I think that'll be the other place, and I'll leave the water just watercolored. Go in with this. Oop, this yellow's gotten a little solid. So we're gonna kind of get rid of some of that solid yellow and get a nice liquidous one. And we're gonna go in here in the middle of the lilac or the lotus flower. We're just gonna make that middle nice and shiny, almost like it's the sun, really. It's nice and bright and shiny, which I love. And then we can go in with that pale pink and the red as the orange and the pinkest pink have dried. I'm just going to go in with this pink. Pale pink isn't super pale pink, apparently. I should have done the pinkest pink first before doing the pale pink. This is not a pale pink. It's a very dark pink. Let me try picking some of this up and spreading it to the other one so we can make it a little bit paler. This way. I guess the red I can't go after quite yet because some of this pink is touching the red. So I gotta wait for that to dry. So I'm trying to get some of this back to pale pink. I did dip in the pale pink, right? Yeah, I did. Why is it so purpley? Pale pink on the swatch sheet is nice and pale. I swear this looks like purple. Did I dip in the right? No, I swear I dipped in the right one. It's fine. Maybe it's just because it's right next to the pinkest pink, which is kind of throwing it off. There we go. Okay. So we got to wait on the red because I'm good at that. I'm going to go ahead and do the sap green. We'll go with sap green for these ones, for their lines in the middle. Kind of get rid of some of that and just kind of pull it in a circle. And this gives that nice vibrant green darkness while still maintaining the color palette that we have going on. Same with this one. We're going to do little lines all the way around. There we go. And when those dry, it'll look nice, I hope. Okay, next step. Still gotta let the dragon wing dry. There's a lot of water right here on this corner. I need the red, which the pink's still kind of shiny. I don't wanna bleed the red. And then I gotta do the 2 lilies and the water. So we're at 2.5 hours here. It's almost 3:30, so I may not be able to finish these today. Like I said, I may have to take them downstairs to finish them off stream. I think we made a lot of progress today. Even though I'm not streaming tomorrow, I do have to be up in my studio tomorrow, so I may just wait and work on them then. I haven't fully decided how this is going to work yet. Alright, the top hat is going to get a... You know what? Let's go with pinkest pink band. And this will have a pinkiest pink tie clip. And nothing else needs that pink. Okay. So we're going to start with the shades. I think the shades should be white. So I'm going to mix up my white here, which again has way too much water. I oversprayed these. We're just going to kind of paint over this with a nice shiny white. And as it dries, those lines from the shades and pencil underneath will start to show, which will give that look of the shutter glasses. And then the tie, I think I want to make that one, let's go with a bow tie brown. I might do both ties brown, honestly. One's going to be just regular coffee, and then the other one's going to be, or it's coffee and mica powder. And the other one's going to be coffee mixed in with the mica powder. That way I can get, hopefully, some cool, like, speckles from the coffee. Which it doesn't look like I did. No, I did a little bit. The dog is barking up a storm out there. Okay. And now for the black top hat. Once those fully dry, we will be able to go in again with the bright colors in the background. That green is still really wet on the ear, so it might bleed a little bit. Shiny, super shiny black. And as you can see, it's a nice dark black, which I really like. Because this black, metallic black on my palette is kind of like more of a dark gray, where the black I made is like true black. You know what? To vary up the tie a little bit, I'm going to put in some sparkles here. So I'm going to go for the black sparkle first. I'm going to put that on the hat. Which will make it a little more chunky looking, but that's okay. Because sparkles are everything. And then for this tie, I think I'm going to go in with the Christmas sparkles. No, we'll go with the bow tie because the other tie is a little challenging here. So we're going to put that Christmas sparkle in there. I think I'm going to go back in with this Pinkest Pink. Going to bring some of that tie clip back. That will probably bleed a little bit, but it's fine. Alright, so the cats are drying. Oh, these cats should be good. I can put the insides of these now. Yeah, these look pretty dry. They're nice and sparkly, though. So let's go ahead and put the saying on the inside of these. And if I remember correctly, we were doing "You're perfect." I'm going to write it with my metallic, because why not? Perfect, and then a little heart. Oh no, I did sign these. It's like, I think I have to sign these still. I know I have to sign the roses still. So we're gonna set that one there. This one will also be a "You're perfect." Probably shouldn't have put the Happy Mother's Day on these cats, just so they can be a little bit more universal. But that would have been me thinking ahead. And we all know how well I do with thinking ahead. Okay, so that's nice and shiny. Beautiful, beautiful. My dirty water is very dirty right now. While those are drying, we will sign these. Let's put these up here. I just want to make sure everything is really, really dry before I put it away. I'll just sign with a normal black on these. Come on, give me some of that black. I don't want gray. Okay, so that's got to dry. As you guys can see, the hardest part of doing a crap ton of like small things for selling at a booth, so that way, you know, you can get some income and not just worry about the big stuff, is the doing it in space. You have a limited space. trying to get it done. Just trying to get everything going. And I could take pictures of all my art pieces, like everything from commissions to stuff like that, but I don't necessarily want to. I know I have a million things that I could put in my portfolio on my website when I make it, but at the same time, I don't know if I want everything I've ever done on my portfolio, especially if it's something that I'm going to recreate later, like these flowers. And because I like shine, I can't just scan them and print them off and then put them in my portfolio that way, because I like the shine. So it has to be recreated if I do the shine. And every single one's going to be different every time I make it, because of the fact that I can't control how my brush flows on each one. I can't control how the paint wants to react. I'm not going to be able to get the exact same details every time, which makes each and every piece unique. And if I do a million roses and then I put all of them on my website and they all look similar, but not exact, it's going to undermine my painting. Okay. All right. I have one more penciled in that I need to do. I'm going to save the rest of the postcards. So I'm not going to do any more postcards. I'm going to save those for the... save those for doing commissions on site. I don't know if I'm going to take my palette with me or if I'm going to... How do I want to do this? Or I'm going to use colored pencil. I think I'm going to use colored pencil because that'll just be easier. And maybe I'll do the chocolate, the candies piece with the colored pencil. So that way people can kind of see what it'll look like with colored pencil. Because I have a lot of detail in here. A lot of it. And I don't know how much of it I want to do. I feel like I should paint this. I feel like I should, but I don't know if I can. It is 3:01. I have less than 30 minutes. I have stuff that needs to dry. Maybe I'll just end for today. I don't know. We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a lot of progress. These need to dry. That needs to dry. Both these palettes need to dry. Is the wing finally dry? The wing is finally dry. We can work on this one a little bit. Okay. This one, that one's still wet. Or it's just really freaking shiny, one of the two. No, that's still wet. That is definitely still wet. All right, so we'll work on this one, and then from there, I will go ahead and break until tomorrow when I come up for my therapy appointment, and I'll finish up the dragonfly and the cat. Once those are done, I'll post a picture in the Discord, Instagram, and Facebook. And then from there, what am I looking for? What am I thinking? Why do I have... That's... Okay. From there, I will post pictures of my setup for Friday. And if you guys are in the local area, I would be more than happy to see you guys. Come on out and hang out with me. Maybe purchase something. I'd appreciate it. But you don't have to. I understand. Seems like everything's going good so far. Like I said, I fixed the YouTube. It didn't want to stream originally because I put it as a... maybe I'll do a glitter red. Yeah, I'm going to do glitter red for the flower. Or mica red. Sparkly red? I don't fucking know what to call it. Anyway, I will not be streaming tomorrow. The next stream may be Monday, depending on how exhausted and how much I can recoup from the sales Friday and Saturday. So don't hold your breath for a Monday stream. I may have to stream Tuesday, and then that next week, Thursday, is the start of my farmer's market. So I won't be able to talk or stream or do anything next Thursday. That will be I'll probably post on Instagram and Facebook my setup so you guys can see and, again, if you're in the area, come hang out. Past that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do a Friday stream. I don't know if I'm going to do a Monday stream next week. I think next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after, I also have a show that I'm going to. So I am like busy right now. And a lot of it has to do with my business. So I appreciate all the support in making these products. I just, now I gotta go sell them, which means I can't be streaming while I'm selling them. I mean, I might be able to, but I think that'd be a little awkward. Just sit there and have a live cam of me sitting there waiting for someone to come to talk to and try and convince to purchase. I think that would also make people uncomfortable if I had a live stream going. They'd be less likely to come up because they don't want to be on the internet. I also need to get all my business stuff downstairs so I can get it put into the car. Sheriff, if you're still listening, I need your help with that. Because it's heavy. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking 20 years to carry it all down. Probably should get a tote for my stuff and start storing a lot of my display stuff downstairs. That way I can easily access it and put it in the car. I probably for the summer just going to leave it in the car. I don't think I have anything that's heat sensitive, so I should be okay. Okay, because I can't work on this lily, I'm not going to do this one, just so I can do them same for the two colors. So I'm going to let this dry overnight. I'm going to let this one finish drying overnight. And then I think I will work on them tomorrow before my therapy appointment. I don't know if I'm going to stream that. Probably not going to. Sheriff, I'm glad you're still here. I need you to come help lift. I need some muscles. And then what else is there? I mean, we worked on a ton of cards today. I appreciate you guys understanding the need to change the program. I really do. I apologize again that it wasn't the rat pig piece that we were working on and the anniversary piece, but I needed to get these done for business this weekend. And I have a cat coming and attacking me. Not really. He's trying to scratch post my chair without nails and cause some damage. I don't want any damage. Please, no damage. Oh yes, you're so cute. You're so cute. You're such a good pickles. Yeah, you're a good pickles. Okay, so I loved on my cat. I'm gonna let these two palettes dry overnight. I am going to color pencil tonight the candy postcard. I will save the rest of the postcards for customs, because it has like 50 sheets and I think it's down to like 40, so I'm good there. So we'll save that for customs. And yeah, I'm looking around. I think I'm good. Gonna use my liner pen on the cats when it's fully done with the backgrounds and everything. I got the cards done. Yeah, I think we're good. So as I said, I don't know if I'm streaming Monday because I don't know how exhausted I'm going to be from this weekend. I will be streaming Wednesday and next Friday. Again, I don't know. I'm hoping. We'll see. But past that, I'm so glad you guys stick with me and hang out with me. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these streams. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I will see you next time.